All right, back to the story. So, as I said, it's a long story at this point, but then what ended up happening was, at the time, my mom, she disconnected my phone, so I could, because she wanted me to stop calling Katie, and she wasn't giving me any money, so I couldn't drive to Katie's house or Katie's family's house. So I just used my Cash App, the money that I already had. And, I was trying to get a hold of Katie, just trying to text her, hey, just how's the baby doing? That's how I did the whole pregnancy, but she was, ghosting me the whole pregnancy during times. So just, hey, how's the baby? How's everything? Can you please, stop ghosting me? What do you, it's kind of screwed up. But then I'm trying to, get my mom and dad to help me, or my grandpa. Like I said, I asked my grandpa if he could come and help. My grandpa was like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to get involved. But like I said, I hadn't talked to my grandpa in years. He had me blocked on his phone because he stopped teaching me again. And I wanted to study with him more, but he had me blocked. But I got a hold of him using the Obama phone that I never called him on with, that I started using at this point. And then I basically texted Katie. I was like, Katie, I'm sorry about this, but, you're just collateral damage. Like, this is really what this boils down to, is a conflict in my family. My family, my mom and dad should be talking to me. They should be seeing me. This is the outcome of this. Like I said, if they would have helped me from the beginning, I could have got basketball videos when I was younger. And I don't want to go into details, but there were moves that I did that I learned when I looked at the videos when I was in college. Like I said, a lot of those videos were lost, but there were moves that I did that I wanted to, basically study. I'll just give like one example. This is very like rudimentary, but just like one example would be, I remember I was looking at a video, but I don't want to say too much because I don't want to make people think. But like just one video that I had, I got the ball and I was dribbling down, and then I did a layup where I jumped off this leg and I did a skip like that. I looked at a video when I was playing with South Coast when I was 12. I could go into all the moves I did, but and I never remember that I did this, but I dribbled with my left hand, right leg, skip, and then layup like that. Now, I looked at that move. This was when I was in college, and I duplicated it. And I was, and then when I was playing in Hawaii, I did that move a lot. And I made a lot of shots. Now, the thing was, when I was younger, I was incredible. Like, also the way that I moved into shots, that's what I figured out when I was playing with Compton College. But I was incredible because I was so unconscious. Everything I did was unconscious, and that's why I was so good. But even when I got the shoot away machine, I was still unconscious. I still want to study what I did. And I want to study the swag flow too, but I don't want to get into that. But the thing is, like, I want to study what I did when I was unconscious, and I did things that nobody does. Like, no players in the NBA do it. Barely anybody. People consider me the best player in the nation. I won an AU national championship. When I was playing with South Coast, I was making like 4 or 5 threes a game. And I want to study the moves I was doing. And I was doing incredible moves because I was unconscious. And I want to study how I moved into my shots. Study all that stuff, And like, that's just one example of a move that I did that, but I lost that video. That was one of the videos that was lost on that day. Like I said, that was a day when my mom and dad visited me 2010 in college to help me pack for whatever, I think it was probably summer break. Maybe winter break, I forget. Or no, yeah, I think it was summer break. They're helping me pack, and like I said, that was when I first showed my mom and dad the Quadra model, and my mom and dad were like, "Oh my God, you're schizophrenic! You need to start taking medicine." And this is what they're still mad about too. And then I yelled at them. I was like, "No, I don't need to take medicine. I'm not schizophrenic. Get out of here!" And I started yelling at them. And then that was really probably the last time that they ever really like. They only saw me like 2 times in college. One time before that for Thanksgiving, one time then. And like I said, in high school, I was kicked out in 11th grade. I barely saw them in high school because of the problems. I mean, I saw them. My dad was trying to help me with my shot with the shoot away machine and stuff, but it was conflict nonstop. It was because of the shoot away machine. It messed up my shot. Me and my dad were trying to fix it. My grandpa again tried to blame me. "Oh, well, why did you expect your dad to help you? He helped me my whole life." Or, "Oh, well, why did you, it wasn't the shoot away machine. It was because, if you were in the flow, it wouldn't matter if you had the shoot away machine." No, yes, it did matter. Or, "Oh no, it was because you're playing against bigger, better players." No, I wasn't playing against bigger, better players. he didn't know that I wasn't even mad at my dad. Me and my dad weren't frustrated about anything. The only thing we were trying to do was fix my shot. That was the only thing. It wasn't because I was upset about bigger, better players. No, we're trying to fix my shot. And I know for a fact it was because of the shoot-away machine. And I can go into details and show exactly what happened. And again, like I became a good shooter catching the ball, right, stepping right leg, left leg shot, because that's how I picked the ball off the rack. But no good shooter shoots like that, you know. So I'm not gonna go into details, but because I want to make good shooters think. But it basically the shooter messed up my shot. It changed my game. It messed up my game. And I was such a good shooter before that because I was automatic. And even when I had the shooting machine, I was still automatic and unconscious, but I was practicing wrong. And it messed up my shot. That's what made it so bad for me. And because since I was automatic and unconscious, I didn't know how to fix it. So I'd like to get more videos, you know. And like I said, I wish that my parents would have helped me. But like I said, right after college, I wanted to get more videos and I wanted them to help me, but they threw me to Kauai and they're like, no, you have schizophrenia. We're not going to help you. My mom was like, why do you care about basketball? Get over the past. Who cares about basketball? You're schizophrenic. You're not going to be able to play basketball. You're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to be working. You're not going to be able to work your whole life. You're going to be on Social Security or you're going to be working at McDonald's, but they won't even let you do that. You're schizophrenic. Blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not. I wasn't. If they just would have helped me, it would have been, you know, I could have got the basketball videos. I could have studied. Like, that was just one move that I saw in one video. But every time I would look at a video, I would pick up a new move. Like, there's another move I wanted to watch where I did this crossover, where I'm not going to go into details, but I did a foot drag. I'm not going to go into details, but I want to study what I did. But that was another one of the videos that was lost on that day when, again, my parents abandoned me that day. And ever since then, my parents have abandoned me, and it's been difficult for me. You know, they abandoned me that day, and I lost many videos because they were supposed to help me pack, and I left the whole box of DVDs, of my best DVDs at the place. I went to my grandma's house later, and I got some cassettes and that my dad hadn't made into DVDs, and I made those into DVDs. But at least 30 DVDs were lost that day of some of my best games. But I want to give videos when I played with South Coast on the best team in the country. And scoring 4 or 5 3-pointers a game, or when I was scoring 40, 50 in the 8th grade, and all 40, 50, or in the 40s when I was 9, won an AU national championship, all that stuff. I want to get all those videos, and I want to study what I did because I was so unconscious. But anyways, so I'm trying to get a hold of Katie, and I want to But basically, I text Katie. I'm like, you know what? This is a conflict. I'm sorry that you're collateral damage in this whole thing. And, I don't blame Katie. Like, she didn't know what was going on. She's like, your family won't talk to you. You must have problems. They think you're schizophrenic. You must have problems, And she stopped treating me well. But she wasn't treating me well from the beginning because my swag flow was off. But like I said, if I had the videos, it would have helped my swag flow. But it doesn't matter. I started to figure out a little bit more after this. But at this time, it was just bad, right? Really bad. But after this, I started figuring out a little bit more what I was doing in 2020 when I had the artificial one. But I still want to get more videos, and I still want to study more. And, there's stuff I want to do. But, so I'm texting Katie, like, you're just collateral. So then I start texting her my life story so that she knows. And I started texting her family my life story, the based on true story, so that they know that I'm kind of a victim, that I'm not schizophrenic, that I'm a victim. And what I wanted to establish was, I don't even feel bad for my mom and dad. Like, I'm not even blaming my mom and dad. Like, I feel bad for them too. I feel bad for them because in my mind, I'm like, even they're traumatized by the whole shoot away machine thing. Even they're victims of this whole shit. Because the way I look at it is, I was a great player. Phenomenal. My dad thought I was going to play in the NBA. My dad went to every one of my games, and he would tell people he thought I was going to play in the NBA. My friend Malik's dad told me that my dad said he thought I was going to play in the NBA. And the thing is, like, and I think I would have if it wasn't for the shoot away machine. I really do. And my grandpa will probably look at it and go, oh, you're just boasting. But my grandpa just has no fucking idea, And that's another thing that pisses me off. Or he would say, oh, I believe you. But no, why the fuck would you believe me? You didn't know how good I was. You weren't there. So don't try to pretend to believe me. Just keep your mouth shut about it, But, just be authentic. Don't be a fucking faker. But yeah, so the thing is, like, I wanted to get, so basically I feel bad for them because, I was a great player, and then my shot got messed up. My mom was like, what's wrong with you? You're great. You're a shooter. You're a scorer. Why aren't you scoring? When I was starting point guard on varsity as a freshman, but the thing was, people would think, oh, it's because you're playing as bigger, better players. Like my grandpa thought. No, it wasn't. I was playing great. My handle was good. Everything was good. My shot was messed up. It was because the shooting machine messed up my game. So, and that's what I was practicing on a lot at that time. That was, at that time, ninth grade was when I was going in the backyard and playing all the time with picking up off the shoot away machine. And and the times when I was shooting better was when my dad was passing to me when he picked up off. But that's a long story, and it still kind of befuddles me how he couldn't figure out that it was a shooting machine that was a problem. But I didn't, because I was a young kid. I didn't know. I was always unconscious, but he didn't either. And I'm not mad at him. It is what it is. What happened. I discovered theory of everything. Everything's fine now. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, my grandpa would be like, "Oh, why don't you just move on? Why don't you just don't make excuses and just work hard?" I am fucking working hard. I discovered the theory of everything. I'm doing good now. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's quit with all this bullshit. But anyways, I feel bad for my mom and dad because I feel like they're traumatized too because they had to beat me up. After the shooting machine messed up my shot, I'm trying to get help from my dad. My dad's helping me, but then he's like, "Oh, I give up. You fucking suck now. I quit." And I'm like, "Dad, come on, help me." And he's like, "You're going to ask me again, I'm going to, beat your ass." And he beat me up. But again, like, I needed help. It was a terrible situation. I felt I needed to fix my shot. So I tried to, "Come on, Dad, please, 15 minutes. Just shoot for me for 15 minutes. You ask me again, I'm going to beat your ass." And then Grandpa comes in, "Oh, well, you can't force things, Ryan. You have to be in the flow. Can't make things happen. Everything is energy. It's all, And then, he comes in from Kauai and starts with that shit. And like, "Oh, Ryan really wants his independence." No. So then my dad started abusing me. My mom was abusing me too. She's, "Oh, look how ugly he is," as my dad's beating me up. "Look how ugly he is." And because I said, my mom gained contempt for me. My mom stopped going to my basketball games. She's like, "I'm embarrassed to go to your basketball games. You suck now. You fucking suck." And my dad, this was in ninth grade, and my dad was like, "Marla, he's playing." I was a starting point guard on varsity as a ninth grader. We won the CAF championship, but my grandpa's like, "Marla, he's playing good. He's playing fine. He's playing good," because I was playing good. It was my shot that was messed up. But my mom was like, "Oh, he sucks. What are you talking about?" Because my mom was trying to like put a fire up my ass, trying to make me go all out and make me do better. No, it was a fucking shoot away. With so long as I was picking up off the shoot away machine, my shot was gonna get messed up, and I wasn't gonna be shooting good. It was gonna mess me up, and I didn't know how to fix it because I was unconscious. But I still had the swag flow. I still want to study the videos, but so my mom was, so that trauma, they abused me. There was trauma, and I think that they're traumatized by the abuse they did to me. I'm traumatized by the abuse that was done. Everybody was traumatized by that, and it was because of the shooting machine. So I don't feel, I feel bad for them because, and like I said, when my mom first discovered, when I first showed my mom and dad the Quadra model in 2010, my sophomore year of college, I graduated 2013 with a bachelor's degree, but in 2010, when I showed my mom and dad that, my mom was like, immediately she said, "Oh," she said, "Oh, you do have schizophrenia." She was like, "And that's why," and it's crazy that she said this, but again, like I said, this is why I think that she wanted to believe this so profoundly was because, and so, adamantly is because she wanted to, she wanted an excuse for the abuse that was done to me. And that's when I was a leftist liberal because I was like, and the same thing happened with the black people because I wanted to race mixing. I was leftist communist. So I was like, same thing happened with the black people. The white people abused them and now they want to say, they want to believe that black people have stuff wrong with them and that they're like inherently violent and bad. But no, that the violence and bad behavior is a consequence of the trauma. But even the white people are traumatized by the abuse that they did to the black people and their desire to see the black people this way is due to the trauma of them even abusing the black people. And so where everybody was a victim to the economic system of slavery due to the agricultural revolution, blah, 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 blah. Trying to blame the agricultural revolution like I was trying to blame the shoot-away machine, which is, maybe could be accurate. But again, like I wanted race mixing, right? Because I saw myself as Jewish and I wanted to mix the white people with the black people. And I wanted to be like, everybody's the same and there is no black or white. And it was just due to economic motivation, slavery, and we should all just mix now. And, so I had a incentive and agenda that was still dualistic according to my grandpa, which I think is accurate, right? But so I was trying to blame my mom and I was trying to be like, or I was trying to blame the shoot away, but I was just trying to be like, I feel bad for my mom and dad too. They're victims also. I'm victim to this whole situation. They're victims. It was a shoot away machine. It's like, now let's move on. But so I was writing this thing and But I was writing about what happened, and I was talking about how the trauma that occurred. So, and I was sending it to Katie, and I was sending it to her family and stuff, and I was talking about how, like, after the shoot away machine, or first off, the first thing I was talking about mainly was how my dad and me were so into basketball, and my dad would go to every one of my games. He never missed a game. He shot with me every single day. There was never a day when he didn't come out and shoot baskets with me. And also he was yeah. So and I was talking about how, like, he was so, yeah, he's so into basketball with me, and he's like, he went to every single one of my games, and he was like, and also, like, he was also really into rap music. Like, he bought all these rap albums because it was related to basketball, and he was playing rap music. And it's interesting because, like, it was playing like the Lynch Mob and stuff, which is like anti-white stuff, and that might have even increased my anti-whiteness, right? But he was all into basketball and rap music, and my dad was a cool dad. I'd have all the uncensored albums, and my friends would have the censored albums, and me and my dad would be growing up to the games listening to Dr. Dre, The Chronic, and so my dad was, very loving, and that's what I wanted to establish too. Like, I felt like it was super important to establish this, how good I was and how loving my dad was and everything, because I wanted to say, like, it wasn't me. There wasn't something wrong with me. We had a good relationship. Everything was good. It was a shoot away machine that messed things up. And I think that they're traumatized, and I was traumatized, but I think that they're the ones who are mainly traumatized because I'm the one who wants to regain the relationship, but they don't. They're the ones who want to, like, my mom was like, because she doesn't want to tell herself, no, maybe it was a shoot away machine. Maybe we messed up. Maybe we shouldn't have beat up Ryan. She wants to hold on to the notion that I'm schizophrenic and that I have problems and stuff like that, and that there's something wrong with me, because it makes her feel better about herself due to the abuse that she did to me, right? That's the way that I look at it. I think my mom's very emotionally fucked up right now. So, so I'm writing this stuff, and I'm trying to send it to Katie and send it to her family so that they understand my situation, and they start to understand, like, maybe we should talk to him. Maybe we shouldn't be ghosting him right now, and we should talk to him about how the baby's doing, and we shouldn't, if Katie's thinking of having an abortion, we shouldn't have an abortion. So I'm writing this stuff out, and I'm saying how my dad was so loving, my mom was so loving, my mom was always there for me, my mom did everything for me, everything until the shoot away machine. That's what I was trying to establish. And then after the shoot away, like I said, my mom was like, bro, you fucking suck. What's wrong with you? And then, the conflict started happening with me and my dad. Dad, can you please help me? You're going to ask me again, I'm going to kick your ass. You fucking suck now. Dad, come on, just can we shoot like once a week? And I talked about the whole thing where my mom sent me to a psychologist. The first psychologist said, Ryan, you're not the problem. Your mom's the problem. The way she's talking to you, the name she's calling you. Like, she's a terrible person. Like, I've never seen anybody as bad as your mom. And then my mom was like, that psychologist is crazy. And then she sent me to another psychologist. And that psychologist, I tried to tell the psychologist, like, could we just do like once a week on Mondays for 15 minutes? Let's set that up to where my dad could shoot with me. Because, again, my dad was capricious. If I had some good games, my dad would start shooting with me. My grandpa would be like, oh, because when you had good games, again, victim blaming me. Well, because when you had good games, you were nice. And then your dad wanted to shoot with you because you had a good game and you were being nice to him. No, it's because my dad looked in the newspaper and said, oh, Ryan, you made a game-winning shot. Okay, I'll go to your next game. Or, oh, Ryan, you made 4 threes against OJ Mayo. Oh, okay, I'll go to the next game. But it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not fucking that upset about it. But I just want to establish that my dad, I wanted to make it so it wasn't capricious. I wanted to because my dad would help me every once in a while if I was playing good. Like, he heard I'm playing good. Okay, well, I'll shoot with you today. But I just wanted him, like, maybe once a week, 15 minutes every Monday to make it, firm. And then, so it's not capricious. And then because at that point I was shooting on the shooting machine. I was just damage control at that point. My shot was so messed up. I just wanted to make it so it didn't look terrible. So I just wanted him to shoot with me for 15 minutes a day, 1 day a week. I thought, okay, let's just do that. But then my dad was like, I'm not going to do that. No, because he wanted to do it his way. And my grandpa was like, well, you have to learn to, he said, I was like, I thought that was a bad call. I was like, come on, Dad. My grandpa's like, well, you got to learn to accept bad calls. You got to learn everything is just fine. Everything is energy and everything's just fine. It's all working toward the good. And so, well, maybe he's right, but it was bad. It was a shoot away machine. So I'm trying to tell my dad, like, let's just do 15 minutes. So then there's a conflict. I'm like, come on, Dad, can you shoot with me today? Because now it's so capricious. He's like, I don't want to shoot with you. Come on, Dad, please. Can you just look at my shot? Oh, you ask me again, I'm going to kick your ass. Dad, because I felt I needed his help. Because my shot was messed up because of the shoot away machine. And again, they're going to think like, oh, right. My mom's going to want to be like, oh, Ryan has obsessive compulsive disorder. No matter what, there's going to be problems. And that's what they want to think, that there's something wrong with me. No, it was a shoot away machine. That was the only fucking thing. If it wasn't for the shoot away machine, this shit would not have happened. I don't have inherent mental issues and shit. But that's my grandpa's like, oh, well, you're trying to force things, make things happen, thinking there's something inherently wrong with me. No, if it wasn't for the shoot away, none of this stuff would have happened. I think that they want to believe that there's something inherently wrong with me. No. So, so I was writing this to Katie. I was writing this book out to Katie. And then, like I said, then I would be calling my mom because my mom kicked me out of the house. My mom and dad kicked me out of the house because the conflicts were so bad. And I'd be calling my mom, Mom, can I please come home? Because I felt I needed my dad's help and stuff. And my mom was like, no, I fucking hate you. No, you're not fucking coming home. This is in high school. And like I said, it's been like this since high school. And that's what I was trying to establish. Like, it wasn't because of the quadrumile necessarily. It was, she already established a hatred and a contempt for me in high school. And it was because of this whole shoot away fiasco. But Mom, can I please see Dad? No, you're not going to fucking see your dad. What are you, 17 years old? You need to see your dad? You fucking baby. You're 17 fucking years old. Mom, please. And again, there was a lot of emotional abuse occurring. And I'd be like, well, Mom, can we just leave on a good note? I love you. And she would, I don't fucking love you. Bye. Or she wouldn't even say bye. She'd just hang up. A lot of times she'd go into that whole hang up thing. And this is an interesting thing. I remember one time my mom was talking to my grandma, and my grandma hung up on her. And my mom was like, I hate when my mom hangs up on me. And then my mom started doing that to me later, So I start writing about all this. And, so I started writing about the emotional abuse. Like, I'm trying to call my mom, like, Mom, can I please come home? No, you're not going to come home. Mom, can we just leave on a good note? I love you. But no, I don't love you. Bye. Or, because I wanted to just leave on a good note. I would be like, let's just leave on a good note. Like, don't leave on the note like I hate you, But no. And just hang up on me, And that it was like, and it was very traumatic, this whole fucking thing. I was living with my friend Afam. This is a 12th grade. And I needed, I wanted to live with my family. But the shoot away machine, it was all because of the shoot away machine. But they want to think there was something wrong with me. So I'll get more into it in the next talk. But yeah, so my point was, I was writing about this and I was sending it to Katie and her family so that they would know my situation, so that they would have compassion on me, and maybe they would talk to me and not think that I'm just mentally ill, and know that it was a family problem dynamic and it was because of the shoot away machine. It really was. And I wanted to see what was going on with the baby. Again, like, I was afraid Katie was going to have an abortion and all that, right? And she ended up having the abortion, but I'll get to that.